Several discussions with family members, but especially between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views.
Shocking twists are unraveling inside the courtroom as explosive new evidence flips the entire Robinson case upside down. Because yesterday, Judge Tony Graff was confronted with what insiders describe as security footage that could prove Tyler Robinson, the accused assassin of Charlie Kirk, may have actually been framed by his own father, Matthew Robinson. And the reaction inside the court was immediate and chaotic, with the judge slamming his gavel so hard it cracked, calling for an emergency recess, and declaring in front of everyone, "This changes everything." A moment that has now sparked a storm of speculation, divided families, and turned what many thought was a straightforward trial into one of the most shocking celebrity political scandals of the decade. The assassination of Charlie Kirk on September 10, 2025, was supposed to be just another routine campus appearance, a chance for the conservative figure to speak with students at Utah Valley University, but instead, it became the stage for one of the most shocking moments in modern political history, because Kirk had specifically chosen the outdoor fountain courtyard as his venue, despite warnings from his own security team, saying he wanted to remain accessible and unafraid. Yet, in doing so, he unknowingly placed himself in what experts later called a shooting gallery, surrounded by buildings with clear, elevated sightlines, and the Law Center rooftop, where the alleged shooter Tyler Robinson was said to be hiding, was under construction with easy access, making it the perfect position for a sniper and setting up a tragedy that would send shockwaves through both politics and celebrity media. At exactly 11:52 a.m., security cameras caught Tyler Robinson arriving on campus in plain clothes, wearing a maroon t-shirt and light shorts, but investigators later revealed that somewhere inside the university, he secretly changed into dark clothing before making his way to the rooftop. And the weapon he carried wasn't just any rifle, it was a vintage 1943 Mauser, bolt action passed down from his grandfather, upgraded with a modern scope Tyler had ordered online, and paired with specialized hunting rounds designed for deadly accuracy, a chilling detail that showed this was no spontaneous act, but a carefully calculated setup. And as the clock ticked closer to noon, every movement Robinson made was tracked by cameras, yet no one realized in real time that he was positioning himself for an assassination that would be remembered as one of the most dramatic and devastating moments to ever hit the public stage. By 12:05 p.m., Charlie Kirk stepped onto the makeshift stage, full of energy, tossing Turning Point USA merchandise into the crowd and engaging with students like he always did. But what nobody realized was that this was the final time he would ever speak in public, because just minutes later he began taking questions from the audience, including a pointed one about assault weapons from freshman Sarah Chin. And witnesses say Kirk grew especially passionate in his answer, pacing, gesturing, and hammering his points about freedom and gun rights with the kind of intensity that defined his career. Yet, as the clock struck 12:23 p.m., right as he finished saying the words, "Freedom isn't free," a single shot rang out, traveling at deadly speed, striking him in the neck and ending his life instantly in front of a horrified audience. A moment captured on countless shaky cell phones as chaos and panic exploded across the courtyard, while his security scrambled to protect against what they thought might be more incoming fire. While the crowd screamed and scattered, investigators later pieced together that Tyler Robinson's escape was far more sophisticated than anyone first imagined, because he didn't just run from the rooftop, he had mapped out an elaborate getaway, using the construction scaffolding and equipment around the Law Center to move across multiple roof levels unnoticed before slipping into a predetermined exit. And in a calculated move, he abandoned the rifle wrapped in a towel from the university's athletic department, a detail that showed just how much planning went into every step. And to cover his tracks even further, he changed clothes again, discarding the dark outfit used during the shooting and re-emerging in the lighter clothes he wore upon arrival, a disguise switch he had rehearsed according to text messages on his phone. And when he finally left campus, driving a gray Dodge Challenger that didn't even belong to him, it became clear this wasn't a rash act, but a mission rehearsed down to the smallest detail. Investigators digging deeper uncovered that Tyler Robinson's movements in the weeks before the assassination were anything but random, because cell tower data placed him near Utah Valley University on at least 3 separate occasions long before the shooting. August 15th, August 28th, and September 3rd, times when he was supposed to be in class but was actually scouting the grounds, studying vantage points, and testing how to move across campus without drawing attention. And what's even more chilling is that he borrowed the Dodge Challenger under the lie of heading to a job interview in Salt Lake City, all while hiding his real plan. And those recon trips, combined with the carefully chosen rooftop position, proved this wasn't just an impulsive act of violence, it was a mission plotted over weeks, leaving investigators stunned at how methodically a 22-year-old college student had prepared to carry out one of the most shocking attacks in recent history. As investigators dug into the Robinson family, the story became even darker, because behind the headlines of political violence was a home already split apart by financial stress, religious expectations, and explosive arguments. Matthew Robinson's construction business was collapsing under economic pressure. The family had refinanced their house twice in just 18 months, and Tyler's college costs only added fuel to the fire. But the real breaking point came when his secret romantic relationship with his transgender roommate was exposed at a family dinner, sparking a wave of personal and religious conflict that left Tyler feeling alienated and angry, and with his parents still clinging to their conservative values, while Tyler gravitated toward progressive, anti-establishment ideas online. Every dinner conversation turned into a battlefield, pushing him further away from his family and deeper into the digital echo chambers that fed his growing obsession with targeting Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson's online activity revealed just how far his radicalization had gone, because what started as harmless gaming chats on Discord slowly morphed into political theory groups and anti-establishment circles where his language grew darker, his plans more calculated, and investigators later found he wasn't just scrolling, he was studying, tracking Charlie Kirk's schedule for months, mapping his security patterns, and even disguising assassination plans as video game code words with his roommate, messages about completing the mission and taking out the final boss that seemed like harmless gamer talk, but in reality were chilling references to Kirk himself. And if that wasn't disturbing enough, agents discovered Tyler researching other political assassinations, drafting notes about sniper positions and escape routes, showing this was no sudden outburst, but a carefully engineered campaign of violence that stunned even hardened FBI investigators. By the time Tyler Robinson made his first court appearance on September 16, 2025, the world finally saw the man at the center of this storm, sitting stone-faced behind a video link from Utah County Jail, answering the judge with one-word replies, scribbling nonstop into a yellow legal pad as if he were analyzing his own trial like a chess match. And what made it even more surreal was the defense team, led by a high-profile attorney known for handling terrorism cases, signaling they would lean on his age, his online radicalization, and his fragile mental state rather than deny the mountain of evidence. While prosecutors hit back hard, adding federal terrorism charges, pointing to recorded conversations with his parents where he openly confessed his political motives, and building the case that this wasn't just a murder but a calculated act of domestic terrorism meant to intimidate and silence conservative voices across the country, setting the stage for one of the most closely watched trials in modern American history. The assassination of Charlie Kirk didn't just take the life of a polarizing political figure, it tore open America's fragile conversation about free speech, political violence, and the hidden dangers of online radicalization. Because this case is no longer just about Tyler Robinson, it's about a family torn apart, a father now suspected of betraying his own son, and a movement shaken to its core. Turning Point USA canceled events, conservative leaders demanded new protections, and Kirk's widow gave birth to their third child weeks after his death, a baby girl who became a living reminder of both loss and legacy. And as prosecutors and defense attorneys prepare to battle it out in a trial destined to dominate headlines, the nation is left asking the same haunting question. Was this the work of a lone radicalized young man, or the first crack in a much larger conspiracy? Because no matter how this trial ends, the memory of Charlie Kirk's final words, "Freedom isn't free," will echo across a country still reeling from a tragedy that may change political history forever.